Hello there, Mad Mike here, and welcome back to the channel. And today, unfortunately, we have some very bad news in the entertainment community, and I know this is a little outside my wheelhouse, but please bear with me as we discuss this, and that is that Kobe Bryant, the former Los Angeles Lakers basketball player, and his daughter, as well as three others, died in a helicopter crash earlier this morning. Or late last night, one or the other. But they confirmed it earlier this afternoon that Kobe Bryant was on board the helicopter, and he is unfortunately now deceased at the age of 41. Um, Now, I initially wasn't going to do a video on this because it was kind of outside of my general wheelhouse of movies. But I did want to touch on a few things because Kobe Bryant did win an Oscar in 2018 for his animated short Dear Basketball, which was actually based off of his letter that he sent to the NBA Hall of Fame regarding his retirement, um, or the Lakers front office actually, regarding his retirement. And I've sat through the short film, and honestly, it's an amazing piece in terms of what it shows. And I'm going to say this full out. I'm from Boston, or I'm from Massachusetts. I don't. I'm not a huge basketball fan, but I am a fan of the Celtics. But the thing is that Kobe Bryant kind of did some things that transcended him beyond basketball in a few different ways. Um, but I really wanted to kind of just go over that short film and kind of what Kobe Bryant. It looked like he was going to have a bright future in terms of being involved in the entertainment industry beyond basketball and beyond his initial Oscar win there in 2018. But obviously, unfortunately, that was cut short. But I just really wanted to talk about the short in question because it kind of shows. It's one of those things we kind of forget about it when we're watching sports. But the idea is, when you're watching a movie, an actor is inhabiting a character. They're playing somebody. They're not playing themselves, or at least not generally, unless the character is exactly like them. And sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. But when it comes to sports, that's just, for the majority of it, that's just how those guys are. That's their natural personalities. That's how they act. You have a few, personalities that are kind of out there and stuff. Um, but for the majority of it, it's those people acting how they would normally act and then just going out and entertaining people in the realm of sports. And his short that he kind of that he gives us kind of portrays that in the purest light possible. And he starts talking about how, when he was a kid, he was pretending to shoot these game-winning shots with some rolled-up socks, his dad's rolled-up socks, and how he went from there to being somebody on the Lakers and winning championships, and obviously having one of the greatest NBA careers ever. Um, and it's touching. It's touching to actually hear it because it shows just how much he loved it, how much he didn't want to say goodbye, and kind of how much that he didn't. His body was not letting him continue to do the thing that he had essentially dedicated his entire life to. Which is kind of the battle that happens with every athlete eventually. Is their body breaks down to a point where they just can't keep doing it anymore. And fortunately enough, Kobe Bryant was lucky to have a very lengthy NBA career. I believe 18 seasons. Or it could have been maybe a couple more, but he was one of those guys that just it was different, and everybody kind of knew it was different with Kobe because he was one of those guys that could transcend the game. There's guys that are really, really, really good basketball players, extremely good. But that after basketball's over, they're not really going to do a whole lot. They're going to do the advertisements, or maybe they'll do some commentating or stuff like that. Kobe Bryant was different. He was a charismatic person. He had a lot of connections in LA because of his time playing there. And a lot of he was very articulate, which is another thing. Is the idea when you listen to the monologue that he does for that short film, it's extremely articulate, and it feels like somebody professionally doing it, not just somebody talking, or not like me, not like I'm talking to you now. It felt very professional, and I don't think that was because he was trying to be professional. I think that was just the way that he was and the way that he was able to speak about it, because he knew so much about the game and he knew so much about the way that he felt doing it. And I think that's really what I want to get across here is the idea that that he puts forward is the idea that he loved something so much that he dedicated everything to it. He put everything into it. And I don't think there's many people in the entertainment industry, period, or even in sports, period, that can necessarily say that they've done that, or at least say it from a sincere perspective like he did. And maybe it's because they didn't have the success that they wanted at it, or maybe it's because their career got cut short by injuries or something. But there's not many people that can actually sit out there and say that they gave everything. They gave everything and they did it because they loved the game. And that's kind of again, that's one of those things that really comes out through the short. And like I said, I don't necessarily know if it was, necessarily worthy of an Oscar. I will say that I think it probably, in terms of its category, I think it deserved to be nominated because I think it was a very beautiful piece of work. But I had hoped that something like that was going to, be a budding point and that he was going to go on from that. And also, unfortunately, that didn't happen. I think that he could have been like a Dwayne Johnson or even Shaquille O'Neal nowadays has been appearing in more and more things because he felt like he had that kind of a presence about him. But I feel like he could have done drama. He could have done drama very well. And he did some stuff here and there, but for the most part, he was kind of just resigned to kind of those jokey roles that they give to professional athletes when they try and go over into the acting foray. But that's the thing is that even though Kobe Bryant was not an actor, he was not in. Well, I should say he was not an actor first. He was an athlete first. He still had an imprint on the entertainment industry, and I think that he still had. I think he still had a lot more to give, which is the sad part about this whole thing. Is I think that he had a lot more to give, and we're lucky to get the things that we got from him. Whether you're a sports fan or whether you're a fan of any of the other works that he's done or his nonprofits and stuff like that. Now, I will say this: there are marks on his career for various things, but being as so he just passed away, I am not going to bring those things up here, and I would be happy if nobody brought those up in the comments either, at least not immediately, because it's really about looking in retrospect at his life and maybe what even though it's kind of pointless to look at what could have been, it is something that I think we should take into account when we think about him in the coming days. For anybody that was a fan of his, is that be happy with what we have, but there could have been so much more. And again, the condolences also go out with his young daughter, who also died in the accident. There was speculation that his wife was also in the chopper, but fortunately enough, she was not. So Kobe Bryant, unfortunately, has passed away at the age of 41. And I'm sure the NBA community, the entertainment community, will be running stories and stuff like that for the next couple of days about this. But I just wanted to put this out there because I felt the need to, and because I sat down and rewatched the Dear Basketball short that they had done. I will link that in the description below for anybody that would like to watch it. And I would recommend you watch it. It is a very beautiful short. The animation is very interesting. I like it. It's a little bit unfinished, but it kind of it's quaint. It works. It's a very beautiful form of animation, and it's not really as contemporary as some other stuff. So it kind of works for that short film format. I don't think it wouldn't work for a feature length film, but it does work for the short that they did. So again, I'll link that below for anybody that wants to watch it. And like I said, I say at least give it a watch. It's only a few minutes. But aside from that, I want to know what you guys think. Were you a fan of Kobe as a basketball player? Did you like the Dear Basketball short? Were you aware of anything else that he was doing as far as entertainment. I think I heard something about him. I haven't seen it yet, but I think he was in Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler. I could be wrong about that, or if they may have replaced him with Kevin Garnett. But again, I'd like to know your thoughts, so put them below. And as always, remember to hit the bell for notifications, hit the like button, subscribe, and remember, I live my life free of compromise. Do you?